support may be wanting. That is when now you refer. Okay? So that you don't also give the wrong information. Lead to increased awareness. You can lead to increased awareness.
My name is Boniface Mukuha. I'm a mental health champion. So today, my assignment is emotion. What does emotional well-being mean to me? So emotional well-being to me is a state whereby I can handle normal stresses of life for a change.
For example,
Yes.
you are emotionally unstable. You said it's a state.
Yeah.
Then when you are walking, you come across someone who needs PFA. What action will you do?
I'm unstable.
Yes, at that particular moment,
I'm
you have
working
your own stresses, and then you meet someone who is in need of a PFA. What approach will you take?
Remember as I start, I've said that I have the capability and I have that 100% of taking care of my emotion. So the moment I realize that I've come across for a person who needs PFA, then my 100% I'll take it in an action whereby my stresses will no longer be important, but I need to handle this.
If you are unstable, it means that you're not capable of taking care of other person. For you to take care of another person, you have to be stable. Ni sawa? So kama uko na shida yote, hauwezi kupata huduma za kwanza. Hadi wewe mwenyewe uko safe.
Promote mental health well-being, whereby they become, maybe they have high self-esteem, confidence after being talked to.
Born Bigo Onoga, youth peer facilitator on mental health. So my question was name a situation where mental health psychological support is especially important. Okay, question was, name a situation where mental health psychological support is especially important. So I come up with these answers. One, after experiencing a trauma. Trauma, we have various types of trauma. One, kuna acute trauma, like when someone engaged in accident, that is acute trauma. Chronic trauma, when you are stressful. Two, complex trauma, like during sexual abuse. So one may have a trauma. So during that occasion, that kind of a person need a counselor or a guide who may help him or her to cope with stress. Two, facing overwhelming stress. When one has stress, me as a psychological support should be available for him or her to help him or guide him. After diagnosis with serious illness like when one is diabetic, he or she has HIV or AIDS, heart diseases, cancer. In such occasion, an individual may be have trauma or stress or depressed, so he or she need a counselor or a guide related to issue of mental health, stress.
At some point, telling somebody to stop, just saying stop, it's kind of difficult because it depends how we are different, and it depends how people figure things out. So you might even say, approach the person, tell the person the effects of maybe taking that alcohol, and then when somebody knows the effects, I think he will start reducing. That is one way of telling somebody to stop, but indirect.
I have a different opinion in my case. So I agree on that part of referral, but the way I agree is like this. You said my girlfriend may break up,
Then before you met, she was under SUD. Then you have grown up, you are in a marriage like 15 to 15 years. You know, when you get at a certain age, diabetes is a factor at a certain age. She ends up being diabetic. Now she's under that condition, I may come to use alcohol as a way of cooling her emotions. Now, since you know it will affect her health and it's your partner, how will you approach it?
Now, I'll say I'll come with the part of referral, but the main thing that I'll do, I'll not just let her go alone. I'll support her for the healing part. So I'll be going with her to those sessions. That will be easily for her to maybe adapt and change. Because I'm there, she may feel the impact.
For instance, as she was saying, that you will actually talk to that person and then tell the person about the effects, and that person will start reducing bit by bit. What if you tell that person about the effects and they don't make a change? What will you do about it?
There's a part of referral.
Are you sure referral will work?
Yes, you're sending to the best psychology or the best counselor. That's why I'm saying, if you're sending the best psychology or the best counselor, the best part to do is maybe be there with her or be there for her. That will show enough support that she may even change more.
Yes, my name is Teres Lema. I'm a mental health peer facilitator. And so my question was, how does mental health influence your daily life? So first of all, I want to thank Repssi for introducing this program actually. I personally have benefited from it. Like, for instance, allow me to use my case. For the longest time, I've been battling depression. Yes, to a point whereby I almost lost my life in the process. But through this, I think now I can be able to stand and yes. You understand?
This question is
So, I answered this question according to me personally. Yes. So, at first, it has helped me regulate my emotions, whereby at this moment now, I'm able to manage sadness, anger, and joy in a balanced way. And also, it has helped me in making decisions. Like in the morning, when I wake up, I do challenge myself with some positive affirmations, yeah? Just to push myself for the day and encourage myself that I'm great, I can do better. And also, it has enabled me have ability to maintain a healthy relationship. At least I can now feel comfortable around people, talk to them, share whatever that I have with them. Because I remember back then, I was never used to talk about anything that I was going through. Yes, so I would just let it kill me inside. But now, I can be able to talk about it and feel better. Yes, and finally, it has enabled me acquire self-care routine and also the ability to perform my daily tasks as it is required.
My name is Teddy Flavian. I am a mental health peer support facilitator who is now graduating to be a youth advocate. My question was, can creative activities like music or art be part of mental health peer support system, and why? For me, first of all, the creative activities are called art therapy, and art therapy defines as a form of expression therapy where uses creative process of making art to improve a person's mental, emotion, and psychological well-being. For me, I would say I recommend it to be used because according to the statistics which are tested, like in 2022, UK-based study, they did a research on adolescents, and they found that 82% of adolescents gain more ability to express their emotions after 6 weeks of training of art. The first days they were not able to talk about how they were feeling, if they were sad, or if they were not feeling well. But when they continued the session, at the final end, they were able to express themselves. Then also, there are 5 ways I highlighted it can be of beneficial. They can promote healing and coping. Like if someone has stress, anxiety, or trauma, you know that is something that is within him. So when that person is painting or is drawing, or like the scenario of Munga when he's playing, when maybe he's playing, maybe he has stress, then he tends to score a goal, you know, it will have changed his mood. He'll even forget that in the morning he has not eaten. That joy which will come into his body that time will make him at least to reduce some percentage of the stress he had in the morning. Then also another way of building connection and community. You know, art is a generalized thing. You can never be participating directly or indirect. Take like for example football. Football has players, there's a referee, there's a fan. So I cannot be playing, but when I'm also viewing there as a fan, if my favorite player is giving me what I am interested in seeing, it will also be building my emotional expressions. Then they are culturally adaptable. Every culture has its own way of expressing music or art. So let's take for example, if you go to West Pokot, Munga's residence, you know they don't understand English or Kiswahili. But if you use a local song, they will chant with you. Take another scenario of Western. They like bullfighting, you see. They wake up early in the morning 6. You find someone yesterday did not eat, but early in the morning 6, that person is already awoke. He will walk a distance of almost 50 kilometers and he will not feel tired because he or she knows I'm going to celebrate something that is part of our culture. It is also bringing her sense of identity because she'll get to know the norms of our culture. You know, like within that surrounding, he or she will also see different forms of dressing, different forms of language.
In a dancing, maybe sometimes you come that you find that you are given a certain target number of people that are required. Okay, in our team we are 20 people, but only 10 people are the ones that are required. You are not the only one that have remained back. You see, maybe there are 10 of you. So just give him or her the words of affirmation. Okay, you are required to take 10 package of people. Okay, it's not that you are bad, it's not that you are not performing, but I think next time we'll consider these 10 ones that have remained back instead of taking the same people or the same package that you took before. Yeah, so words of affirmation, it might also assist you.
Reflect on the hungry window, that open space. The open space is very key in situations like this, because once you understand me, I understand you, then it's easy to relate.
Joya Sega, and I'm a mental youth peer facilitator. And my understanding today was what are signs that someone might need mental health psychosocial support. Yeah, what are signs that I personally might notice. Yeah, for starters, during these 3 days here we've been here, I've been able to kind of know what each and every one of you likes and doesn't like. So I can say basically I can assess how you've introduced yourselves to me, how you've opened yourselves to me. So if in case anyone here was going the other way, like for instance, let's say Aseka, from my perspective, how he's opened himself out to me is like he's a decent guy, he's a modest guy, he's a guy who has religion at heart. So when I find him there outside, ametoka base ya Changli, hapo nitajua kuna kitu wrong.
What is Changli?
Changli is like, you know, tequila
local
in Mexico.
Brew.
So Changli is
Local brew.
local brew. Yeah. But hiyo sasa haiendi kwa chemistry, haiendi kwa lab huko. So nikipata kama Aseka ametoka base ya Changli, so you know that will, if I'm really down to, he's my friend, I'll see something is wrong. So that's one sign, because he's acting out of the norm. He's not usually doing these things. And then that's one case. And then another case I can get Mackerel. Just from how we've been here, actually the first time I met her, it was last year. I didn't know she was a foodie. You see?
Yes, my question was, what's the link between physical and mental health? So good physical health, good physical health inasaidia mental health yetu kuwa mzuri, na how our health iko how our mental state iko ndo ina determine how we will respond to our physical health. Like maybe kama like you are mentally disturbed, like kama wale tunaona pale kwa barabara, like you will not take care of yourself, you will not bath, you will not groom Kamsosi, or you can call me Kamsosi. Okay, so my question was, what is one mental health issue that you commonly face? One mental health issue that you commonly face in our community is a disorder, drug disorder, kutumia mihadarati. That is one common. Compared to zile zingine zote, I think even because community tunajua mihadarati, we have drug dependence center, it's not bad. We have alcohol, we have cat, we have all those. So that is one common mental health issue that you're gonna face.
My name is Helen Mekesa. I coordinate mental health and psychosocial services for Kibera and Langata sub-counties. So among the issues you have been able to discuss, you as mental youth champions, there are questions or there are cases or conditions or clients who may you may meet them within the community, and their case is so complicated. So then, how do you handle that? Yes.
That question reflects to the question that I asked Kamsosi, and I think he answered me very correct, because here comes they have a special case. This person is so much addicted in using such kind of drugs and habits. So it requires you to work with them hand in hand till the day that they will come to normal life. You have to work them. It will begin. You have to begin. It's like a journey now. You'll begin with them a journey till the day that you come to the end of the journey.
That's very good, huh? So we call that addiction counseling. It's a specialized kind of care that the person must accept. They must have come to self-awareness that the drugs I'm using, they have affected me socially. Maybe they are separated already, or it has affected them economically. Some of them, maybe they were stealing and maybe they have been sacked, or they come on duty late because they are drunk, or they are not as productive as they were previously. So quite a number of them maybe have been laid off from their job. And another thing is that their general relationship is impaired. Imagine a married person, that means maybe they are not able to fend for their family. Then their family is just breaking down and things are not just well. So we need to refer such clients to us who are experts in mental health.
Flashcards helpful?
Yes.
I really like what every one of you has shared. I'm so encouraged to see that we are internalizing mental health and psychosocial support, its approaches, what we are supposed to do, what we're not supposed to do, and these are real life experiences that we are going to encounter in our work as champions. One thing I want to emphasize is that when we are referring to persons dying after taking their lives, we do not say committed suicide. We say the person died by suicide. The person did what? Died by suicide, not committed. But the moment you say committed suicide, you're criminalizing the death, isn't it? Yeah. And already the government has decriminalized suicide attempts, okay? So we say died by suicide.
Toaster. I'm a head.
Toaster. Toaster, toaster, toaster.
Toaster.
Toaster, toaster, toaster.
Toaster.
The two, there are two words. Mental health. Okay? Which is a broad word in itself. And then we have psychosocial support, which is PSS.
Social support, relationships, coping, emotional well-being.
Yes. Now, psychosocial support is what is outside, the support you get from out, okay? From your peers, from counseling, from whatever strategy that you deem that can empty your bucket. Okay, we did this yesterday. That is now the psychosocial support. But again, we say we all cope in different. Because you live in Kibera and you know the dents, and some of these drug users who are your peers are even your friends, isn't it? You can actually salvage them out of the situation by just being the person that is supporting through the Johari window. Don't forget the Johari window. Make sure they understand you so that they come close to you, and then you're able to understand them. So you listen to them, and then you're able now to address whatever issue they are having. Because if a young person in Runda is unemployed, semi-unemployed, but the factors that influence situation yake ya mental well-being is tofauti. Yule young person in Kibera who's unemployed, si unemployed, but the factors that influence the mental well-being ndio tofauti.
One, learning and awareness. Reading about mental health, psychosocial support, attending trainings, understanding local issues.
Can you say something about that? What you understand by that step?
Learning and awareness. Here, it is where we are encouraged to do more research in terms of knowing more what is mental health and how can we come up with the psychosocial support by attending trainings, if need be online or offline, because we've got courses in online palevi na pia offline, like what Repssi is doing. Understanding local issues is you understand your local area. What are the main challenges, what are the main challenges that the youth are facing, and how we can come up with solutions to cope with those challenges.
Number 2.
Step 2, speaking out and sharing stories. Telling your own story, starting conversation on social media, breaking the silence.
What do you understand by that step?
For me, what I understand from that, take an example from my next right deskmate, sorry to use you as an example. The way she gave her personal experience about what she had gone through, it's also like the person listening will feel like it's okay to feel sad because you are not alone. There are also some other people feeling the way you feel, but in a different space, so that they will have a safe space conversation where they can come together and form maybe like a support system, where you can be able to share conversation on how you are feeling and to be able to understand each other. Then also when breaking the silence, when you share your story, it also relieves your mind. And you're like someone has cornered something inside him or herself and it's burning up, and it's letting it to accumulate more and more. If you speak it out, someone can give you a solution and be able to solve it earlier before it grows.
Step 3, mobilizing peers and communities, organizing group talks, club meetings, peer-to-peer support activities. Whatever I understand in this statement is whereby whenever we are having those group talks, we are able to share the different experience that we have been having, and through those different experiences, we find that some of us are able to learn something that is going to build them, because through those experiences, we are finally able to come up with solutions that probably they are going to uplift us as individuals.
So it is something that you have to do, something that you're passionate, you push, and it's a solution that Mtu hawezi kukuchallenge akwambie what do you know? Sio? Unamwambia my youth, I know because I live the experience. So advocacy tools with youth-friendly options. I want each of you to read for me. You read the tool description and example. And you also expound on it.
Policy briefs tools. Concise. Concise evidence-based summaries of decision making, and then example, informing policymakers about youth-led mental-led psychosocial support, youth-led friendly mental-led psychosocial support services.
Is that possible? Is it possible? Can we achieve this? Having evidence, okay? Evidence-based summaries for those decisions. And that's a policy brief. It's something you write with a summary of all the things that you are asking for. The problem, okay? The population, the magnitude, the what. You just don't say, kuna shida, kuna shida, and then what? You know, the what now is now what is most important. Okay? Next.
Fact sheets and infographics. Easy to read visual materials with data and messaging. Example used during school club or outreach events.
A fact sheet. So you know what a fact sheet is? A small piece of paper that has statistics and drawings that will clearly describe what the issue is. That this is the problem. So, yeah, that you can even share with places. This is not a fact sheet, but it's something that you can work for. So this is not a fact sheet, but it's something that can work for. Let's say I want to go somewhere. I just want somebody to know who Repssi is in a nutshell. I just leave this. Akiangalia ataona what we stand for. Akiangalia ndani ataona where we work, our thematic areas. In brief, ataona facts, our statistics. What's a fact sheet?
Social media campaigns simply describe by engaging posts, hashtags, challenges, or stories. And we've been given an example like TikTok challenges and mental health awareness, and Instagram reels on GBV prevention.
Can we do this even without a thought? Sisi ni tunafanya every day. Sasa leo tunajipiga selfie, tukijipost, so we can post something constructive about mental health. Next.
Digital storytelling. Youth share their stories through videos, blogs, or podcasts. Yeah, as kids, we know that everyone now is podcasting, and that's the modern and easiest way to get information to a larger audience. So if we can capitalize on podcasts in Africa, that can be a great selling point to reach the most youth who are now just getting into the wave of this digital era.
Yes, I saw Oscar sharing some work that they do on YouTube and whatnot. You don't need so much. Kuna tu mtu ataenda kwa hiyo channel na a story moja yenye ameshare na mtafute. Namwambia, I want to take up this story. Tell me more about this story. Okay? Next. Are you well? Are you okay?
Yes. Facts, music, spoken. Creative expressions to share and witness messages. Example, graffiti walls, open mics, or music videos, and as a child, lights.
Is that something that vijana can enjoy doing?
Yes.
Is that something that vijana can enjoy doing, isn't it? Yeah. reproductive health and rights and mental health. Ndio. Ndio tunafanya graffiti that mirrors the interconnection between mental health and psychosocial.
Can we do that?
Sorry, next.
Can we do that?
Sorry?
Can we do that? Graffiti.
You're free to do it. You're free.
Money.
I said advocacy does not start with
Monday.
it's you start with what my villagers say. Ile fimbo unayo ndio unatumia kufanya nini? Kuua nyoka.
Yes.
Ukishaua mtu anakuja na kusaidia kwa kitu.
We have interactive workshops and games. This is whereby is by fun, participatory learning spaces. The advocacy board games or role plays during these 4 hours.
Yes. Or even during your football matches and many other things. Is that doable?
Yeah.
Next. No, you need space.
Testimonials and peer-to-peer dialogues, discussion, personal stories, shared in safe spaces, examples include from Tiago and negative navigating SRH challenges.
Are these things that young people can do? The things that young people can do. Your personal stories, share, we will talk about safe spaces, isn't it? Petition and pledges, mobilizing action through online platforms. Mliona vile X-Space ilifanya kazi during maandamano?
Yes.
The X-Space did wonders, you know? So there's so much that we can do, okay? Mental health is health, school pages, you know, you just have to come up with hashtags and you amplify on social media spaces. Eh? Mobile advocacy, SMS, WhatsApp squeezing the number. Yeah? You can do a lot. Quick info sharing of tools. Weekly WhatsApp alerts with advocacy tips and helplines. You know? These are things that young people will joyfully do. Memes and GIF creation, light but powerful way to pass a message. Instagram, you know? I remember there's a time, I don't even know what was happening. When now this meme of it was so popular, you know? So you could get everything, emoji, and it became an official emoji. So you can do a lot, you know, in your space as a young person. And also, likewise, there are many approaches that we can use, okay? We can do peer-to-peer advocacy, where you have youth advocates directly to the other youth, what we are training you to do, in schools, or tertiary forums, or mental well-being. It could be a space where young people always interact. Social media influencer, collaborator, you can do a lot as a young person. There are many approaches. Youth parliament or forums, ghetto parliament, you get, there's so many. Edutainment, you know what edutainment is? Yes, there's so many. Crowdsourcing ideas, flash mob or awareness marches, youth advisory boards like the one I'm asking you to apply on, vlogging or micro-documentary. The list is endless. Okay?
Exposure to disease.
So speaking on governance, big governance, and now start moving with governance and show how that governance is causing.
Familia is very hard to do in life. Familia is the scent you can't take off your phone. Familia tastes just like back in the days we keep seeing us coming back. Then it was back in the days. Familia doesn't question good habits. Yet again, who are they to? Familia is what I'm known to try for. In fact, What's you chasing if you're not chasing familia? Familia is when your sense of belonging is not actually yours to start with. Familia is when you try to be the best to become someone else. Familia is when you tell someone exactly what you want to hear. Familia is what might at times seem not familiar at the moment, but familiar still is familiar. Even in that moment, because it's unfamiliar, you go to unfamiliar with. My name is Brian.
Tena kupika kwa mpinzani, mbona unakata fish hapo na kwa mimi sana. Fish unakata kupika, huwezi kupika fish kwa kwa. Kweli samaki iko na kwa. Two different cultures, ni wote wanajua kupika fish, si ndio? But tumoja itafanya mkosa ita kwa nini? Kukata. Wewe ulikata fish, mimi najua fish ita kukata. Mbona ulikata fish? But Jordan leo kitu fish kwa kwa. Udema karudi akatoa ile sehemu za kuona fish la katwa. Sababu ndio akaenda kwa shosho yake kwa mama kwa zamani ile. Unataka fish ukataka. Nikamwambia, "Nita visa utulize shosho kenda Desemba." Kwa kuza shosho shamwambia, "Si kwa tunakata fish, tulikuwa tunatumia kichuni nyungu. Fish hizi ndio yote huwezi toa fish ukiwa huko. Lazima ukate ndio toshe." So see, it's the information that was given that it was serving the purpose then. But because no one was questioning that information, tulipita kienda kupeana bila kujua mbona si ukata fish tukipika. Wale wengine hapa wanakata because maybe the equipment they were using growing up from the older days was bigger than the fish itself, si ndio? But mtungu, si unajua the nyungu inakaa. Huwezi ingisha fish kwa nyungu na utoe yote, si ndio? So that was the whole purpose. So basically, familia is knowing and unknowing things as you grow. This is about. This is about. This is a thing. This is a cow. This is a shape. Afadhali umepata certificate. Hey, wait. Nice smile.
Almas for mama.
For the very first time in your history. Hey.
Smile.
Thank you.
One more and then Helen will also come and give Oscar Musos.
Hey.
Angalia kamera kama tu. Papa kimeme.
Ngoja kwanza.
Haya.
Wow.
Wow, that's good. Iko sawa ya.
Esbon, Biko,
Onunga.
Wewe. Hello. Oh.
Yes. Woo. John Ken Asoka.
And final, eh?
Finally,